Good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are around the world, and thank you for tuning in. We are here today on the coast of the Netherlands at the world-famous Circuit Zandvoort. It's round 7 of 12, and it's the 5th season of the Zoom Racing League, and we are here at the home of the 2021 Formula One World Champion Max Verstappen. It's a 2.6-mile circuit, 14 corners. 4 of those are to the left, and 10 of those are to the right. And we have a 215-meter run down to the recently reconstructed Tarzan corner. It's a tight and twisty track with 2 DRS zones where our drivers will struggle to overtake for sure. Join with me here in the booth today. As you guys can see, we already have qualifying on our way, but join with me here in the booth is the legendary Joel Guerin. Joel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Honored to be here with my old teammate.
Definitely some history there. We cannot forget that there's some history between the two of us, dating back to Red Bull at season 1, AlphaTauri in season 2. It's a good time. So I'm glad to be in the booth with you today, and I'm excited to see a good race here at Netherlands. Qualifying already underway. We got some times up on the board. Damien Doe with a 10.6. What kind of qualifying times are you thinking that we're going to see for pole here in Division 2?
Let's go with a flat 10.
A flat 10? I'd be utterly shocked. Flat 10 is possible, but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see those kind of times yet. Maybe at the maybe at the esports level we'd see a flat 10. I would be pretty surprised if they could break the 10.5 time frame, I guess. But we do already see Damien Doe with a 10.6, so I guess anything is possible. I don't know. My top drivers to be looking for, I definitely expect Damien Doe up there, but Eruption, if we want to go ahead and skip to this topic, Eruption has been out with a 2-race ban for the last 2 races. Talking with Eruption this past week, this dude has already been practicing for the Netherlands, while the rest of us were practicing at Belgium, practicing at Italy. This guy's been putting in laps to make sure that he, without a doubt, comes in here and he wins this race. Yeah, that's the kind of dedication we look for. Let's go ahead and pull up the telemetry details and hop on board.
Just excited to see what his race pace looks like if he's been practicing 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think that it's very intriguing to see how far he's come. He's also transitioned. He's one of our drivers who's transitioned from moving from the controller to the wheel. So there's a little bit of a learning curve there, but as much as this guy grinds, I definitely expect for him to be at the top. As you already see, his qualified P2 with a really respectable time, and just interested to see how much he can improve.
And he also went straight to no assists. So
yeah, he did. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think we do have some drivers about to start laps. Trying to hop on board with them. Is Garrett Elder coming to the line, or is... No, he's starting a lap. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. Getting my menus all set up. So Garrett Elder is going on to a lap. We're going to go ahead and hop on board with him. That's a pretty good exit out of Tarzan as he heads down to turn 4, the banked corner that I feel like Zandvoort is iconic for. These roller coastery type, twisty, turny, tight corners that really just allow no room for error, no room for passing. And some people hate it, some people love it. What do you think about it, Joel?
It's definitely a tight track. We've seen some incidents in the D4 race, D3 race. People just trying to make passes where you shouldn't and cause incidents. So
yeah, as Garrett heads through the second DRS zone into the stadium section of the track, where he's approached by the sea of orange. All McLaren fans here today, because we don't have anyone driving from the Netherlands. We don't have any Dutch drivers here in Zoom Racing League, but we'd be glad to definitely take some on board. If anyone's interested from the Netherlands region, that'd be awesome to have. As Garrett Elder's coming to the line, he's going to put up an improvement, going to P5 with a 111.0. I think Garrett's capable of a little bit more than that, and he'll get another run with another set of soft tires. And we'll see where he ends up at the end of this whole thing. But let's hop on board with, I think we got, is this Eric McNerney?
Yeah, we also forgot to mention that Red Potato snagged pole by a very small margin.
Oh, he did. He did snag pole. So what a lap by Red Potato as Syra crosses the line. Syra goes P5. And Syra had a little bit of a controversial race in D3, as stewards will be looking into that. But at the end of the day, I think he did walk away with a top 5 finish. So congratulations.
Eruption's up this time right now, coming up on traffic though. Let's see what he can do.
Ooh, in the stadium section, he was a little bit impeded by an Alpine there, I believe. But coming around towards turns 13 and 14, the double corner coming to the... Oh, and he... So might be a little bit compromised. Will he decide to finish the lap or come to the pits? He's going to finish it with a 10.7, and he dropped it to a 10.6. What an impressive time when you see that this guy was impeded coming into the stadium section, and then he almost lost it coming through turn 13, entering turn 14.
Crazy.
So lots of work, and it's showing clearly for Eruption, and Victor Diaz decides that he is coming to the pits. Let's see, we got a McLaren starting a lap, I believe. Or no, Syra coming into the pits.
Yep.
AlphaTauri behind Syra would be Alex Duarte. Alex Duarte's coming to the pits as well. A little bit of a slow moment here on track as the drivers are kind of going through their rotations of going through their first and second runs, and they're getting ready for the third and final runs.
Dougie Falcons is about to finish his lap, up his time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop on board Dougie Falcons. He's coming around the final corner. He's up 3/10 through sector 2. And he'll go to second place, just 100th behind his teammates. So looking at a Red Bull 1-2 right now. Strong showing from Red Bull early in the qualifying. Real quick, I wanted to talk about, we got McLaren dealing with some serious struggles here. We've got a reserve in here today, Syra, and it seems like every week for McLaren we've got another reserve in. Sitting at 9th in the constructor standings, I don't think that's anywhere where we thought that they would be. And Zach Brown-Klein has been working with his guys, but it just seems like week after week we're having attendance struggles, or if they are showing up, it's poor finishes. What is your thoughts on how important it is for these guys to show up to the race and put in consistent results?
It's super important to always show up. You know, there's a lot of drivers in the reserve pool that want to see, and they're just told no because, you know, we're full. But then we have all these attendance issues every week, so I don't know, maybe we should be a little harsher on that and get people who actually want to race in there.
It's definitely a shame. We definitely have guys who want to be racing, but you know, obviously real life stuff happens, but we'd love to see these attendance numbers go up. As Big Mama Frank is coming to the line as another reserve standing in today for Lights, the Alfa Romeo driver. Big Mama Frank coming across the line with the P18 for now. I'm sure he's not too happy with that. 11.9. We got more McLaren drivers coming across. This is Eric McNerney, who's been putting in a lot of work this week, and he isn't able to improve. He does a 111.2. Maybe that was an improvement, but he didn't improve his position on track. And we have a Mercedes around. I believe that's... Is that Red Potato? No, that's Sid Satgar. So Sid Satgar is around.
Oh, Damien Doe, fastest lap.
And Damien Doe comes around and steals that pole position. So 110.6. And we're getting closer to that 110.5 range that I was thinking is probably the barrier for where these guys can get to. Until we see the D1 guys come out tomorrow night, that we might get that barrier broken. And I could be wrong. I would love to see it broken tonight, but I'm just not sure if we're quite there.
Yeah, and Eruption's out again, about to start a lap.
Let's go ahead and hop on board with Eruption. With it coming off a 2-race ban, Eruption has to be my spotlight driver for this race. We got to keep all eyes on him. He's put all the work in. And yeah, okay, he's starting his lap now. All right, just wanted to make sure that was correct. But he's got a lot of work to do. He's not sitting where he wants to in the driver's standings. The team is. Team is still sitting about 20 points behind Alfa Romeo. Sitting with 278 points, and Alfa Romeo sitting at 299, so 21 points behind. And Eruption is not up on his time through Sector 1, but he's close. He's
we're just going to take a look at that Sector 3 time where he was impeded and had a little moment. So
Right, exactly. So as long as he's staying steady through the first 2 sectors, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. Looks very clean. Maybe a little bit wide through the hairpin as he gets on that throttle and onto the curb heading into the second DRS zone. But for Eruption, the good news is, since There's 4 minutes left. He's going to have time to come to the pits. He's going to have time for one more run. If he would have finished this run, he wouldn't have had time for another one. This would have been his final lap. So maybe this is a good thing. You never know. Everything happens for a reason. And he is going to get another chance at it now. Is Mercedes behind him? Is that the Mercedes of Red Potato? Yes, it is. And Red Potato is coming to the line. He pops his DRS open, and he's P4 right now. But as he crosses the line, he's going to jump up to P1 with a 110.1.
Oh my!
Sound barrier broken. So I told you
wasn't too far off.
I told you it wasn't possible to see a 110.0, and I really truly believe that, Joel. But a 110.1, that is a time that I would say is unprecedented, and that might be pole in Division 1 tomorrow night. What a lap from Red Potato. Pretty speechless on that one.
Yeah, same.
So Red Potato standing in for Johannes Ludwig. You know, I would love to say Johannes Ludwig, he's missed 5 races. You know, he's 18th place in the standings, hurting his team. But when you've got a reserve of this caliber showing up to race, I don't even know if you can say he's hurting his team anymore. So next driver that will be starting a lap, we've got Raz, Freddie Rizal, out on a out lap right now. Everyone else is currently in the pits. Freddie Rizal will be the first to start the last rotation of qualifying laps. And Freddie Rizal is definitely a driver who's capable of some fast qualifying times. I would say he's on with the Division 1 pace, but Freddie has always been lacking a little bit with the consistency. Something, as you're his team principal, something you've been working with him on.
He seems very consistent when he drives outside of his division, so...
Yeah, no, that's also true, but in his division, he has typically struggled with consistency. Today, he's outside of his division, and there's maybe something to that, what you're saying, because when you're outside of your division and you're reserving, there's less pressure, right? If you don't perform, that's okay, because it's not my division, you know, I'm just in here filling in. It's the main driver's fault for not showing up. So Freddie looking pretty good so far at the first sector. Let's see if he's improving on his time as he comes here across the Sector 1 checkpoint. And he is. He's almost up a tenth, so he's improving a little bit. He's going to need 7 more of those tenths to go for pole, but maybe he can snag a few positions. If he could just make up 2 or 3 tenths here, Freddie could be looking at a P2. Stay on board with Freddie. We got a couple other... As he crosses the line, we're going to have a bunch of other drivers who are going to be coming in. We're going to try to keep you guys informed on what's happening behind him, but there's going to be a bunch of drivers coming in on fast laps behind him. He's also going to get a little bit of a tow here to the line from the AlphaTauri in front of him. So Freddie Rizal comes to the line, and it's going to be a P2 with the 110.5. What a lap from Freddie Rizal. And he's got another driver coming in behind him. Is this Barney Goatmere? Just Garrett Elder?
Garrett. Or no, not Garrett.
Oh, I think that's a Red Bull, actually. Let's see. Seb crosses the line with a 111.0. He's not going to improve on his time. Got a Ferrari crossing the line. Is this Buzzgod? Buzzgod's going to come to the line. And Buzzgod's actually just starting a lap, I believe. Yep, so we'll hop on board back with him a little bit. Barney Goatmere, we've got starting a lap as well. We've got... Is that Garrett Elder just finishing a lap? Yeah, Garrett Elder just finished a lap.
Spun out, so no improvement from him.
Okay, no eruption, no improvement from eruption. Garrett Elder came across the line in P6 with a 110.7. Got a Mercedes coming to the line. Is this to start a lap? This is Sid Satgar, and he's starting a lap. Behind him, we've got an Alfa Romeo. And the checkered flag is out. That's Damien Doe. He came to the line. He improved, but not enough. He's P3 for the moment. We've got AlphaTauri coming to the line. That's Alex Duarte is coming to the line.
And Dougie Falcons.
And Alex Duarte is not able to improve. Dougie Falcons is coming to the line as well. And Dougie Falcons is also not able to improve. We've got a Haas coming to the line of Seb. And Seb's not able to improve. And McLaren is going into the pits behind him.
Into the pits.
Yep, we've got Buzzgod coming to the line, and he's up a little bit of time. currently in 10th place, looking to improve that, and he jumps potentially up to P7. That's a good improvement for Buzzgot at the 110.8. We got an Alpine behind him who decides he's coming into the pits. We got is that
Victor Diaz up on his time.
So Victor Diaz is up 2/10 as he's coming to the line. P11 currently. He's going to jump up to P6, and
Nice.
that's great to see from Victor Diaz.
And Sid finishing his lap.
Hop on board to Sid as he comes to the line as well. Currently P16 with the 111.2. He improves a little bit to and just a little bit higher 111.2. And boys, that is going to be the end of our qualifying session. This is your Division 2 grid. The nerves are already starting to set in for these drivers. It's something people talk about the butterflies you get. Do you still get those butterflies, Joel? The nervousness that you get as qualifying's over. The outlap starts to warm up your tires, and those nerves really just start to settle in.
I haven't really been racing. I don't know. I know I felt it a lot, probably a couple seasons ago, being in D1 and.
Yes. No, it's a feeling. I get it a lot when I'm racing on the Division 1 grid. I think that. I've talked to some of my teammates as well. Hudson gets the same feelings. Ethan gets the same feelings. But it's just the adrenaline it starts to settle in, and
Yeah.
the emotions get going, and you've practiced all week for this moment, and it's time to show what you've done. So we got Red Potatoes starting from the front with an absolutely dominant qualifying performance, filling in for Johannes Ludwig. Raz filling in for John Ranger, pulling in the P2 qualifying position. Damien Doe, our championship leader, is in P3. So we're going to go ahead and head to a break real quick as we get our drivers ready to start this race. Go ahead and grab your chips and your popcorn and your Coke, as Rebus and PBJ would say, and we'll see you guys back shortly. All right, and welcome back, everybody, as the drivers have already began to warm up their tires on their formation lap as they will begin to prepare themselves onto the grid for the beginning of this 36-lap Dutch Grand Prix. Lots of expectations for this race. Red Potato, with this sort of qualifying, I would have to imagine has to be your favorite to win. Joel, what are you thinking?
Has to. It was almost 4/10 up than everyone else.
Yep, as we look at our predicted pit stop strategy real quick, sorry to interrupt you. Medium to hard around lap 16, or you have the optional 2-stop. I don't think we'll see many drivers attempt that without wing damage. As far as pitch strategy goes, I would have to imagine that the medium to hard or the hard to medium would be the way to go. It's kind of been the meta for this season, but potentially, do you think we'll see anyone try that hard to soft? I've heard it talked about in the paddock throughout the week. I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know. Maybe Red Potato might be the one to.
Well, he's starting on the medium tire.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Maybe he could pull out the medium to soft if he's got that kind of.
Maybe
pace.
Eruption.
Yeah. So.
Don't know what kind of data he's picked up from 3 weeks of practicing. So.
Yeah, that's correct. So drivers are beginning to take their places on the grid as they get one final tire warm-up, swerving back and forth, getting those rears nice and hot. Who do we want to hop on board with as these lights go out?
Let's go on with Eruption.
All right, let's hop on board with Eruption. For 2 weeks, he's been waiting, and the time has finally come. What can Eruption do, starting from P4? And the lights are going. There's 3, 4, 5. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Eruption gets a decent launch as he's heading down. It looks like everyone gets a pretty good launch. And we're seeing
his teammate Dougie.
Yeah, Dougie does manage to get a good start. So it looks like everyone's going to make it through the first 2 corners side by sides pretty cleanly. Lots of chaos.
Jackie spun in the back.
Oh no, an Eruption has made contact with Shira.
Oh no.
Oh no, and Combined YouTuber gets collected in it as well. So Combined YouTuber and Eruption are sent to the back, as well as I believe Shaggy Muffin is back there too, in lots of chaos. Both Ferraris
spun as well. Yeah.
Oh, so Ferrari chaos, Eruption chaos, but towards
and Damien already on the back of Red Potato.
So we'll hop on board with Damien, who's going through Sector 2 as he gets into the second DRS zone, the start of it.
And Raz spun around.
And Raz is around, so the reserve luck does not continue for Raz this race, it appears. Red Potato already...
No contact in the back.
Oh,
Sandunga and Alex Duarte.
Oh no, so you hate to see it, but lots of chaos. They maybe made it. They made it through turns 1 and 2 clean. It was a little bit indecisive what was going to happen, but you know, this track is so tight and twisty. When guys are side by side going to these corners, there is a lot that can happen. Red Potato already starting to create that gap. He's 1.2 seconds in front of Damien Doe, and who's 1.2 seconds in front of Dougie Falcons on the hard tire. Victor Diaz is sneakily up to 4th place. Let's go ahead and pull up our position changes.
Yeah, Barney Goatmere up 6 places and Sid already 9.
Yeah, Barney Goatmere up 6, Sid up 9, Eric McNerney up 7 places.
Oh, and Sid. Oh, broadcast curse.
Oh no, and Big Mom Frank broadcast curse as well. Oh man, this is terrible.
And both Ferraris into the pit.
So both Ferraris going in for wing changes.
It's delivery curse.
I hate to curse anyone else, but we've got to talk about the race. Gudmundur Flossen is up 10 spots, joined in late, didn't get a qualifying time in, but he's up 10 spots to P10. Nathan Doan started 17th all the way up to, or started 16th all the way up to P9. Seb started 12th. He's all the way up to P8, 4 spots. And yeah, so our biggest losers have to be the 2 Ferraris, Raz and Eruption. So we'll hop on board with Barney Goatmere. Actually, let's hop on board with Seb, as Seb is approaching the back of Garrett Elder as they head down to Tarzan. And Tarzan is an interesting corner because there's definitely more than one line available. As Mr. Sanduka, I think that is, has a spin in the back of the track. No DNF, he'll be able to continue. But Seb is all over the rear end of Garrett Elder right now as they head to the banked corner of turn 4.
Oh, contact. Flosi spun around.
Oh, so the curse of... yep. So Flosi started last place, made it all the way up to 10th, and he's back down to 17th. I guess he's still improved if you look at the net. But surely not what he wants to see.
And all these contacts just making the field so spread out already.
Very spread out. And you'd assume at some point, if this keeps up, we're going to be seeing some safety cars come around. Closest battling on track. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Raz is around. Close battling we got on track is Eruption. This is battle for P9 between Eruption, Syra, and Nathan Doan. Let's go ahead and switch to our tire details.
Damien's just trying to stay with Red Potato, but he's just way too fast. He's just pulling away.
The pace is clearly there, but Dougie Falcons on that hard tire, he's got to just maintain somewhat of a gap to Red Potato if he wants any chance of this on the alternate strategy. Eruption is down to 50% battery, but he's going to blow a lot of it to get around Nathan Doan here on the outside as we go down to Tarzan around the outside line. And it looks like he's going to get it done as Nathan falls into line behind Eruption, and Syra is ready to attack on that. So a little bit of a train forming here, starting with Garrett Elder up on the front. We'll call it the P7 train. So from P7 down to P12 or so. Looks like the driver.
Seb's got to be, sorry to cut you off, but Seb's got to be just ready to pounce on Garrett, seeing that red light flash.
Yep, and Garrett is below that 10% battery threshold, which is causing his battery to flash. Sitting at 80% battery, Seb can't sit behind him for too long. The DRS is open. He's got to be thinking it's time to push and get past him because I'm being held up. And these guys behind me want it as bad as I do. So coming into the first DRS zone, we'll see if Seb decides to burn some of that 84% battery. As the battery light comes on, Garrett is flashing. And will Garrett have any fight? What line will Garrett choose? He'll stay on the outside line as they head down to Tarzan. Side by side they go. Garrett decides to back out early, maybe going to try for the crossover, but Seb decides...
looking to get in there too. And he's going for the overtake on Garrett.
So through turn 4, Eruption's going to try it on the outside. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but for the most part, they get away clean into the end of Sector 1.
And Nathan right next to him too. He's just losing so many positions right now.
Yeah, Garrett's just being eaten up through this section of corner. So
and Syra right behind as well. Poor Garrett.
Oh no, Garrett. So he's already lost 3 positions in this first 2 sectors. And Syra's going to... Syra thinks twice. So anyone who watched last race knows exactly what we just about saw right there. Syra had a little bit of an incident in that exact corner doing a move that he decided to back out of this time around. Syra with only 5% battery.
And Dougie just had a moment, and Victor's right on the back of him with 90% battery.
Oh, so Victor's
And
been playing.
Dougie is pretty low as well. So
Yeah, Victor's been playing that patient game, but to Dougie's advantage, he's not really racing Victor.
Yeah.
He's on he's on the hard tire. They're running two completely different races. This isn't really the battle that he needs to fight right now. That fight he's looking for still is that gap to Red Potato, which is now 5 seconds. How far do you think Dougie Falcons can let that gap go before it becomes too much for the medium tires to make up?
I don't know. He knows what he's doing, so he's just in a world of his own, just making sure he doesn't make many mistakes and keeps the pace.
Certainly, we're just up here in the booth. He is driving the car now, and he will have a better idea of that than we do. But I'd have to think that 5 seconds is definitely making him feel uncomfortable. But we'll find out when the pit stops do start to occur. Maybe, I don't know, what do you think? Lap 10? We'll start to see the medium runners come in? Maybe, potentially? Is that too early?
Maybe 12, maybe 11, 12.
Yeah, so. As we do
Got a
have
yellow on the back.
things get worse for Gudmundur Flossi as he's back down to P17. Still up, though, if you think about it. He started P20, so not looking as bad as the Ferraris. Combined YouTuber and BuzzGod sitting down there in 18th to 20th. Not so
close contact with Syra and Garrett.
Let's hop on board with those two. Syra is right on the rear. You would have to imagine that this would be the moment. Garrett doesn't get DRS. Garrett chooses for the inside line. Going to make Syra go around the outside. Let's go to the third-person view. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact on the exit, but it does, for the most part, stay clean between the two of them. Garrett, I just realized this. We did look at Garrett a couple laps ago, and I know he has been eaten alive since that moment, but he was out of battery, and he's already regened up to 40% of his battery, which is very hard to do as Zandvoort. So maybe he's more or less accepting his loss. He's on the hard tire, and he's just more or less letting things go because it's not his race. That could be kind of what he's thinking.
Well, yeah, but also the guys that he was just with, like Eruption, Seb, they're both on hard tires, and they're already up, like, how many seconds? 2?
Yeah.
So I wonder if Garrett is just feeling unconfident right now in his setup.
That very well could be the case.
Yeah.
Or maybe not confident with the hard tire start. That happens a lot to a lot of guys who I talk to who opt for that hard tire start. It typically is the faster strategy, as we see.
Oh, and Eruption is out.
No way. So Eruption, and that is a full safety car. As we see the safety car coming out of the pits, and we're going to see some drivers opt in to come into the pits. I think Syra is the first of those drivers to come to the pits.
That has got to be a gutting moment for him.
Yeah, so Shaggy Muffin also opts to come into the pits, and so far that's it. A lot of drivers deciding to stay out. What do you think's the call here? We're right at that like moment where it's like we've seen other divisions take hards the entire way.
It's gonna be very close at the end. Very close at the end, but
yeah. So, in Division X this morning, we did see a safety car right at this exact time, and we saw two drivers. One of those being Ethan Patel. Coming in right at this time, and he did make it to the end, but he was definitely in puncture territory.
Oh, he was. Raz actually had a puncture last race, and he pitted probably around lap 10-ish onto hards.
We'll see Red Potato will be the first one to come to make that decision, and he's going to go ahead and risk it. He's saying we're going to see if we can make it that far. We'll take that puncture territory risk. Damien Doe is going to take the same risk. Dougie Falcons is coming around. It's going to be his turn to make the decision as well. Does he stay out, or does he go ahead and come in? I think if you do make it to the end, if you avoid puncture, I think this is the better strategy.
Yeah.
But you're playing with that idea of puncture, and Dougie Falcons is on the hard tire. No reason to pit. So he's going to go ahead and stay out. Victor Diaz and all the medium runners are actually deciding to come into the pits. So it looks like actually every medium runner decided it was time. This is their window. And they're all going to run into that exact same thing we saw earlier, where it's going to come down to the RNG of, does the puncture happen or not? This is identical to what happened in the Division 1 race, or Division X race earlier this morning. And if I'm their engineers right now, I'm telling them, hey, we know you are going to have to take care of these tires to the end. Don't drive them like you normally would. Our conditions for finishing this race have now changed. It's time to reevaluate how this race is going to run for us, because we can't be taking every lap like a push lap. You have to start considering from now on what it's going to mean for you when we come down to lap 35, 34, because just the long term.
Yeah.
These hards last for a while, but this track is absolutely brutal on the front tires, so going to be interesting to see who comes out on top at the end.
And Buzzcut is out on mediums, so he's going to have to pit again for sure.
And it's not, I don't think that's the worst thing, because he's more or less hoping he can get some track positions and hoping for a late safety car. There's not anything else that can really happen for him to make this any better, make the situation any better. So why not?
Raz will also be on a disadvantage because he's just using the tires to try to get back to the group and
wearing
putting
him
some
out.
wear on those. Yeah.
Yep. Just any extra wear is not what you want to see.
And Frank's going into the pits. I think he's going to get rid of that 5-second penalty, maybe.
Oh yeah. So, what tire will he come? So he's coming in the medium tire. No way that makes it to the end. So he's now essentially on the same strategy as BuzzGod.
Yeah.
Unless, well, I was going to say maybe if the safety car doesn't come in this lap, Frank could go back to his hard tire and just be at the back of the grid if he wants to try that.
And also, all these guys could just either go to the end or just pit again. So, it depends.
You're
what
right.
happens.
It's such a gamble at Zandvoort to pit again, because we've seen how hard it is to pass here. Unless you're going by Garrett Elder, then that seems fairly easy. But no, but it's ridiculously difficult to pass here. And when you pit, you're giving up a lot of track position. And yes, you're going to be on the faster tire, but there's a lot of spots there's a lot of cars you got to overtake to get back to where you were.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be something to consider as the race progresses.
I guess it just depends on if you have the gap to do so. So.
Red Potato is fortunate enough that pitting under safety car, he had a 7-second gap, I believe, and that was enough to let him come out still holding on to first place. A little shocked by that, to be honest, but he did manage to hold on to it. So we're going to go another lap as we wait for Gudmundur Flosi to catch up to the field and make this a fair competition to the end. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think we'll see another safety car that'll benefit these guys who are already on the hard tires? Or
maybe.
Yeah, so if I'm if I'm Red Potato, I'm hoping this stays green to the end. If I'm Dougie Falcons, I'm hoping 17 or 18. That'd be fantastic if a safety car came out. So Nathan Doan is a little bit, I would say, out of position, sitting in P3 in Division 2. I think that's a little bit of a overperformance from him, but that's good to see. We've also got Alex Duarte up there in P6. And then down at the bottom, we got Raz, that group of Raz, Combined YouTuber, and BuzzGod. Even Big Mama Frank, who's been a Division 1 driver earlier this season, a little out of position. So it's going to be fun to watch those drivers who are faster than a lot of the guys in front of them start working their way through the field, especially BuzzGod with this second chance and on the medium tires, and all the other drivers around him being on these
safety
slow
car
mediums.
in this lap.
Yep, so the drivers will begin to warm up these hard compound tires now as they realize there is no more time to do it. We've got a couple corners left. Red Potato back and forth, getting the heat into them. And Dougie Falcons is going to be ready to pounce as they head down to Tarzan, looking to get side by side. We'll see if he can do it. When will Red Potato go? And it looks like he might be going for it now. He takes off a little early in turn 13 before they even make it around the corner. And he catches Dougie Falcons a little bit off guard. Gaps are fairly even. Looks like in the back we maybe have Alex Duarte get a little bit of a jump on Garrett Elder. And behind him, we got Victor Diaz there too. Will we see any side-by-side action? Victor Diaz tries around the outside, and is he able to stick this?
Oh, it's gonna be tight.
Oh,
Still
wow.
side by side.
As they go into turn 4, still side-by-side, the bank
Commits.
corner. And Victor
Very
Diaz
nice.
makes it stick through. So what a restart by Victor Diaz. And Shira gets around Seb as well, as he's already looking to go for Sid Satgar. Big Mama Frank goes around.
Oh, Frank, yeah.
Yeah, so not what you want to see from that. But he is a veteran driver. He will recover this race and keep driving, looking for a safety car. Damien Doe all over the back of Nathan Doan, talking about those drivers who are a little bit out of place. Damien definitely has pace, but the track just does not have good places to overtake. He's going to have to at least wait till that DRS comes available, but, you know, how far can Damien let them go before this starts to get out of hand?
Yeah, he's gotta
Get a
go
move
on now, yeah.
So he needs to burn this battery as he heads down into turn 1. Nathan Doan not really looking to contest, doesn't seem to be burning his battery, but he's going to say, Damien, go for the inside. I like the outside. And they keep it clean. Damien gets a pretty good exit as they head towards turn 4, and he makes it happen. So Damien Doe up into P3, still 1.6 seconds behind Dougie Falcon, so be looking to close that gap to get the 1 second interval and get back.
We were talking about we were talking about the regeneration of the battery being so hard, and Eric McNerney already on 10%, and we're just looking at the gap just get bigger and bigger between him and Victor. And
so
it's just going to create space.
Would it be a race with Eric McNerney in it if Eric McNerney didn't blow 90% of his battery in the first lap? I don't think it would. It's a common joke in the league that Eric has been very known to first lap of the race, or first lap after safety car, he's very known to use all of his batteries. Very aggressive driver, and he's a good driver as well, but his driving style has always been one to question, and it's been intriguing to all. So we will keep an eye on his battery, see if he's ever able to recover it. I'm going to say probably not, but we'll keep an eye on it regardless, as Barney Goatmere is closing in on the back of him, and his light is blinking. Barney's sitting at 70% batteries. They head down into Tarzan. Nothing's going to happen this lap as Seb is falling
Raz
close.
goes for the dive in the back on Sandunga. Ooh.
They go side by side. Did Raz lose it?
Yeah, he lost it. Unfortunate.
Oh, so Raz not having the reserve luck that he's used to today. That's all right. So hop on board with Cyrus. He's applying lots of pressure to Alex Duarte. We'll see if he makes that look into... I'm not sure what the name of the corner is. Oh, but he gets really close.
Very close.
He's going to think about it. And he thought about it again.
Second guessing himself.
Yes, so even Alex Duarte looked like he was almost scared of what could have happened right there.
Ooh.
Oh, looking for a crossover.
What a move.
Fantastic crossover. So Alex has no choice but to give that up. He's going to have DRS, but so does Siren. We've got a caution in the back, and that's Gudmundur Flosi again.
Yeah. And Raz spinning again. Hot tires. And he retires.
So team principal probably doesn't want to see that.
Definitely do not.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and forget that it happened as Alex Duarte looks to get Syra back, and Syra's gonna show a little bit of lane changing there going into turn 1. Thinks better of making the attempt to overtake. We've got some crazy action going up here.
I think we missed a moment. There's a huge gap between Damien and Dougie.
Oh, we may have missed a little bit of moment. A little bit of contact in the back as Mr. Sanduga goes around, maybe making contact with Shaggy Muffin. So through turn 4, not quite sure what happened there, but we got a crazy battle going here between Garrett Elder, Victor Diaz, and Nathan Doan. You know, Nathan Doan, like I said, a little bit out of place. Got 2 drivers who are definitely eager to get by him behind.
Yep.
Nathan on the 14-lap old hards, and Victor is just ready to pounce. He's got the DRS right here. Not gonna make a move quite yet as they head into the stadium section. And Victor is just staying as close as he can, and I would have to imagine coming into this DRS zone, this will be the moment where Victor says, I'm gonna blow my battery. He's got 70% of it.
Yep.
So battery light battery light comes on now. Nathan Doan not really burning his battery. And he's going to give Victor Diaz the inside line. Again, Nathan Doan tends to enjoy the outside line as it's appearing. And holding on to the defense, staying tight. A little bit of contact there, but Victor not able to get through. So Victor might have to blow a little bit more battery next time by if he wants to make that move stick.
They're just allowing Potato, Dougie, and Damien just to run away from everyone.
Yeah, if you take a look at the track map down there, or even the intervals up top, you can see that there's kind of like a group of cars that are still together, but those three have just taken off, and they are off into the sunset. It's a 3-horse race, and it's going to come down to if Red Potato and Damien Doe are on their correct tire strategy, or if Dougie Falcons is going to be able to benefit from punctures later in the race from Red Potato and Damien. We'll have to find out. Victor still applying a ton of pressure. Let's take a look at both of their batteries. Victor's at 63%. Nathan's at 52. Will Victor get on the battery a little bit earlier this time? It's going to stay patient, it looks like. Both drivers staying patient here. So
Victor just wants to get on with it.
He wants to, but he's not necessarily burning the battery to do it. He's almost being too patient. I'm not sure. At this point, I feel like I would have rather battery dumped if I were Victor and just be gone and start regenerating it. He's being very, very, very patient and ruining almost any chance he has of catching Damien Doe, if there was a chance. I'm not sure if there was, but also, you know, you get by him. Garrett Elder's right behind you. Eric McNerney is not too far back. Start creating that gap, you know. Let's make this move happen. And the train continues back, actually, you know. So it's like, literally, you got hardly any time from Nathan Doan to Victor to Garrett to Eric to Barney to Syra. Alex Duarte is in the mix. Sid Sackner is right behind him, and Seb is just right behind him. Finally, there's a small area to breathe where Buzzgot is, but he's on medium tires and he's making a run as Barney Goatmere shoots it down the inside of Garrett. And that might be team orders. We'll have to ask them after the race. But that might have been a little bit of team orders because... Oh, wait, hold on. Barney goes by Eric McNerney.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I apologize. We'll see if Barney moves out of the way for Garrett here, and does appear like Garrett's going to pull out of the way. Maybe brake early?
And Victor just looks to be patient right now, and he needs to get on with it.
Yep. Yeah, because if I'm the Williams cars right now, they'll start making contact, slowing each other. This is getting risky.
Yeah, and there goes Barney.
Yeah, then he had...
Oh, in contact. Oh.
Eric McNerney. Yeah, so Eric McNerney goes into the side of Barney out of turn 4. I don't think there was anywhere...
Side of Garrett. Yeah, on Garrett.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think Garrett really had anywhere to go. I think it was just a little bit of unpredictable driving, really. I'm sure Eric was probably like, what's going on here? The Williams cars decided to do a swap. Caught Eric a little bit off guard, and Garrett had nowhere to go and kind of just drove into the side of him. Sure, the stewards will be taking a look at that later after the race. Will this be the lap? Victor Diaz closes in on Nathan Doan. Again, still sitting at 60% battery. Nathan Doan still sitting at 50% battery. Neither one of them has changed, and we are 3 laps later in the race. And that's a full course safety car.
Oh, and
Nathan Doan comes into the pits, but he crosses the white line to do it. The stewards will probably take a look at that post-race. A little bit of a visual glitch we have.
Reminiscent of Thermo and Bahrain.
Yeah, so Thermo, his team principal actually can recall that he got penalized for 5-second penalty for crossing that white line. Likely to see the same thing happen to Nathan. It's a rule you got to follow. You know, it's unfortunate, but when you move that late, it becomes a hazard for other drivers, especially when there's other drivers that close. You know, I don't know. It's iffy.
And this came out perfectly for Dougie Falcons.
Yes, absolutely. So I would say Dougie has to be my favorite to win the race now, if you're looking at the odds, right? Just based off strategy.
Yeah. See what Red Potato does.
So our timing board is completely messed up, and that's just because we had this safety car come out at a weird time, and it's given a lot of people an opportunity to pass around. Dougie Falcons comes in. You can imagine he's going to the medium tire. As we get more of a visual glitch. All right, timing board starting to straighten itself out. Where will Dougie Falcons come out? Is he going to come out Okay, so he'll come out P4. I'm not sure what your game is saying, but it's showing me Dougie
There's
Falcons.
a lot of things going on. I can't really tell what's happening.
Yeah, we got some serious desync going on. Dougie Falcons gets a... What?
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what we got going on is I think Dougie is in P5 on the medium tire. Now it's showing the medium tire. A second ago it was showing the hard tire. So I think it's updated now. But he'll have 4 cars in front of him on the hard tire. It's really going to be on how quickly can he get around those other cars that are in the way.
Yeah.
One of those appears to be a lap down car as well. So Gudmundur Flosi. And looks like we have a Delta glitch back there as well. A bunch of cars coming to a stop to the stadium section to give back Delta time.
Oh. Flosi disqualified.
Okay. So unfortunate for the Haas driver, ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what that was all about. Let's see. What even caused a safety car? I can't recall. Do you remember?
I remember seeing a Haas with no wing.
Okay, so maybe some damage on the track, a front wing maybe
Yeah.
laying out there. Certainly don't want to have that front wing cause damage or harm to any other driver. Glad we got that safety car out there to get the situation taken care of, but it certainly has caused a lot of issues in the lobby. We're getting reports of potentially people being stuck in the pits. Maybe the lobby's broken. As far as I know, I think we're going to go ahead and continue with what we've got going on here unless I hear something else. As the drivers continue to catch up to the field so we can go green again.
I wonder if that 3 seconds that Falcons has, wonder if it was a glitch or something, or it was proper.
I'm going to have to assume just based on, I was on board with him and I didn't see anything happen unless he was desynced or, you know, something was out of the ordinary. I didn't see him cross a line or anything. So I would have to imagine that he didn't get a 3-second time penalty. We're going to assume it's not there unless proven otherwise.
I think it's going to be a very interesting restart as well. A lot of the new runners in the mediums, they're going to be eager to just pass and just want to see if they do it in a very safe manner.
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of guys, you know, we got Dougie out on mediums now. We got Nathan and Garrett and Sid. Garrett and Sid are up fast at times. I don't know if Garrett's confident here, like we were talking about. In the back, we've got Eric McNerney, who's, oh wait, no, he's on older mediums, okay. Combined YouTubers fast on old mediums. Buzz got him back to his hard, so he's in a little bit of a passive situation. Probably hoping for another safety car, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of guys who, again, are kind of out of place, looking to make up some positions.
safety car in this lap and see if Red Potato does the same thing or goes a little later this time.
Yeah, so this time you'd think that should be kind of expected. Red Potato took off in turn 13. I'm sure they'll be ready for it if he tries it again. Maybe he'll go earlier.
Oh, and some position changes. Dougie Falcons is falling back. Oh no.
I think that's just a visual bug. Oh, what the?
No, he's P12 now.
Okay, so Dougie Falcon seems to have spun.
And here
While
we
warming up
go.
his tires. Okay, so Dougie, not good for Dougie, but we see Syra got a great run on Barney Goatmere as they head down into Tarzan. He hugs the inside, and he's going to be able to get around. Barney's going to go ahead and give him room. Some other small position changes in the back. BuzzGod lets Dougie Falcons by. Dougie Falcons continues on his run. We're going to have to stay on board with him because he does have the pace.
Yep.
I just don't know if he can get through that much
Syra
traffic now.
just being very aggressive right now, and he's overtaking Victor.
Wow, so Syra on the old hard tires, time to make moves, huh?
He's on the move, yeah.
Showing that he has pace. He's been racing in lower divisions, but maybe he shouldn't be looking at this. Missing.
He's probably thinking, let's get on with it, boys. You know, they're on fresher tires, and we just need to get a move on.
Yep. After agree, Seb around in the back. Not a good look for him as he came out of turn 4, managed to spin it. Seeing some ghost blue flags. I'm not sure what that's quite about.
Oh, and Dougie making contact with Sid.
Oh, a little bit of contact was hit. Seems to be still moving for the time being. I see a ghosted Ferrari up here. Oh, so combined YouTubers a lap down. That might be where blue flags are coming from. I was wondering what the blue flags were for. That makes sense now. So ghosted traffic in the middle of it all. Dougie Falcons manages to make it around the outside of Sid as they head into turn 4. Through the ghost of combined YouTuber. And the run will continue. Cyrus still continuing to push. You know, he's staying in that 1 second gap of Damien Doe. Damien Doe is going to have to blow pretty much everything he's got if he wants to stay within this Red Potato gap. Red Potato just seems to be casually just on a Sunday cruise, not really blowing too much battery. If I'm Damien, if I want any chance of this, I'd be blowing that battery now. Staying inside that DRS for as long as I can. And just, you know, the pace shows. A couple corners and that the gap's already lengthened back out. Damien has the batter if he wants to,
Dougie
but
dumping everything he has to get past Alex Duarte. Gets it done.
he gets it done at the cost of struggling for battery for the next portion of the race. And I think Dougie's in trouble now because we've seen how tight this midfield pack has been and kind of just giving DRS to one another throughout this entire race. There was that, you know, pack of 3 at the front that took off, but these guys are all going to be giving DRS to each other, and it's going to make it really, really, really hard for Dougie to get by.
And Victor's going to have to start using some battery as well. His tires are just pulling away from him now.
And Victor's been very passive on his battery for most of the race, but yes, it's definitely time for him to, you know, we're coming down to the final 10 laps. You know, it's time to wake up, time to push.
Yeah.
You got to do it at some point. You can't save the battery forever. Yes, you know, he's got Barney Goatmere tailing him, applying the pressure. Barney's got pace too, so.
And Dougie is on the move. Yeah.
Yep, so he gets by the second AlphaTauri of Shaggy Muffin. We'll stay on board with him as he's now got a group of Williams and Nathan Doan in front of him, all on the same sort of tires as well. The tire difference up here where Barney Goatmere is behind, and Victor Diaz, is that right? No, Syra has a moment. where
Yes,
Victor
sir.
Diaz is now right on the tail limb, and he's got.
And Victor goes for the move.
Oh, my
no.
gosh! And exactly what we saw Syra do earlier, we just see Victor do. Oh man, so a little out of character for Victor to, he's been such a steady.
The time where he wanted to be aggressive and just bites him back, and maybe he's
Yeah.
like, that's why I'm passive, guys.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic potentially, but wow, do we have 3 wide up here? Hold on a second. We had Mr. Sanduga, Garrett.
Tyler around.
Oh, it's Syra's around. And Dougie Falcons is in P3.
Wow.
Where did that happen?
I think everyone just slowed down when that contact happened, and Dougie just took advantage of them.
So, no brake pedal in that Red Bull for Dougie Falcons. He's going to keep it moving. He's only 4.7 seconds back from Damien Doe. And he's not going to, that train's not stopping.
Let's talk about Sid also. He's in P4, and he's looking good too.
Oh, Victor Diaz and Mr. Sanduga come into each other in turn 4. Not good. But yes, Sid, you're like you were saying, up into P4 on the tire strategy that is preferred. Maybe Sid could be looking if he can hold on to this Dougie Falcons train. Maybe he could be looking up there for a podium position.
Up 11 spots from his starting position.
Fantastic drive from Sid, you have to say. Shaggy Muffin right there in the mix too, behind Sid. And BuzzGod back into the race at P6.
Yeah.
The whole race is flip-flopped.
I've been watching Garrett. It just seems like he just doesn't have the pace this race.
So Big Mama Frank right on the back of Garrett. He's got the battery to make it happen.
Oh, and he goes in.
Garrett says it's time to come to the pits. So maybe he had wing damage. I'd have to
Yeah,
assume.
Nathan Doan also.
Yeah, maybe they both got wing damage in that
Yeah.
situation. Dougie
For
Falcons
him,
took 7.
Garrett doesn't have wing damage. He just went in for softs.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Was definitely going to get the fastest lap out of it.
And there's the yellow.
Yep.
Sanduga.
Turn 4, Sanduga goes around. Dougie Falcons took 7/10 out of Damien Doe that lap, and he's still coming. Sid Satgary was not able to hold on for the time being to the DRS, and I'm not sure if he'll be able to get it back either. Dougie is on a roll.
Yeah, and it looks like Shaggy's on the move as well, and he's looking to get Sid sometime soon.
2 veteran drivers of ZRL going head-to-head in the final 8 laps here at Zandvoort. I'm also wondering a little bit, combined YouTuber has that Australian connection. I'm wondering if, he's actually sitting 7th in track position.
I think he's a lap down.
Is he a full lap down for sure?
I think so. I think because he was in the back before even the safety car happened.
All right, so
he might have just gotten stuck with a pit. And he's also helping BuzzGod out, he's got a DRS that he shouldn't have.
is he? Oh yeah, you're right. Noteworthy,
So,
for any Eruption fans out there.
yeah.
No, I'm just
So.
kidding. This is this might be a little bit different than that situation, but yeah, combined YouTuber just trying to salvage his race best he can.
Oh, and Syra
Syra
retires.
DNFs. Where's he retire at? I don't see his car on track.
Yeah, no, it.
So into thin air goes Syra. Not quite sure. Maybe it was in the pits and we missed it. Yeah, Seb just passed the pit lane and he was able to overtake Syra, so I'm guessing that's where it was. No real close battles on track at the moment. We'll keep an eye. We'll stay on board with Dougie Falcons as he's continuing to push. He's got 6 laps left. He is closing in that gap, but it's not going to be fast enough unless there's a safety car. If you're Dougie, you'd have to be happy walking out of here with the podium, given the mishap at the
Yeah.
end of the safety car. So he's at 0% battery. He's giving it everything he's got.
And Sid also is probably looking at that 3 seconds saying, like, I just need to stay in it.
That's true. We don't know if that 3 seconds is real, but 3.1 seconds is the current gap right now for Sid. We'll see if he can stay within that. Shaggy Muffin eyeing that 1 second gap to Sid Satgare.
And Red Potato is just on a cruise, not even touching his battery.
Broadcaster's curse. We're going to hop off aboard with Shaggy Muffin. Very unfortunate. He just went around and gives a position up to BuzzGod, who's being pulled by his teammate. Still.
Huh. And I wonder if that will bring BuzzGod up to Sid.
Well, if it does, you would imagine that there'd be a ticket coming in from the Mercedes garage, but hopefully we manage to get away without any tickets coming from that. Dougie Falcons has dropped the gap down to 2 seconds. 2.2 seconds. Only DRS we have active on the track right now is Alex Duarte to BuzzGod, but Alex Duarte is not going to be able to get this pass done as long as Combined YouTuber stays in front.
And I wonder how those hards feel for Damien and Red Potato. 22
You're right.
laps.
Yeah, no, you're right. We have to be watching the fact that these guys could have punctures at any moment.
Yeah, so we could maybe see Dougie just catch him in the last lap.
Yeah, any intel we have, if there's anyone in the chat who has intel on what kind of tire wear we're looking at for Red Potato and Damien, are we going to see a puncture? It could happen. We will keep an eye on it. Got some.
And Dougie is 4/10 faster than Damien that lap.
Yeah, so he's 4 laps left. Safety car is pretty much out the window. If you're going to do it, you got to do it on track. So, from the Ferrari garage, sounds like the drivers in front, at least Damien, will be in puncture territory for the last 2 laps.
And BuzzGod is just getting closer to Sid every lap.
Yeah, the toe is pulling him in. You know, BuzzGod's not at fault here, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Unless, so I'm sure he's just like, whatever, not my fault. If something happens here, it's Combined YouTuber who's going to get in trouble. We've seen what happened to Eruption. And then, Dougie Falcons walked away without penalty. So, we'll have to
Blue
see.
flags are up and she's still standing there.
Yeah, we do see the constant blue flags. He has now been pulled out of Alex Duarte's DRS.
And Big Mama Frank spun around.
Yeah, Big Mama Frank, does he have damage? He does have some damage. Might have laid a front wing
And
on the ground.
4/10 again for Dougie, and at this rate, he will catch him soon.
He will. Yeah, he'll get to the DRS, but he won't have any battery to make it stick. But the punctures, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
He'll just have the time gain in the corners. It looks like Damien's just taking a little bit slower.
And he might have to take it slower because he's going to puncture if he doesn't. Seeing hashtag free eruption.
He's taking it very easy. You can see it.
Yep. He's got hashtag free eruption in the chat. People not happy with the Ferrari gate going on. I'm sure we'll see some tickets come in. Buzz continues to get pulled out of the Alex Duarte DRS.
And here we go. Dougie is going to get into DRS this lap.
Yep, so he's within the 1 second now.
And let's just see the time gain in the corners this lap. Already 2/10 in a few corners.
Yeah, so going into the 2 laps left, I actually think he's going to get it done. I'm wondering if Damien is thinking about the 3 second penalty, if he just thinks that Dougie does have it. I'm going to assume that he doesn't.
I think Damien is just focused on finishing the race. I think he knows that he's got a comfortable lead in the standings and he just needs to finish. he's not worried. I'm pretty sure he'd probably just let Dougie go.
Yeah, you might be right as well, but I don't know. At the end of the day, these drivers are competitors. I know that.
Yeah.
But you're right. The big picture is definitely there. Dougie is just, I'm sure he's wanting to get that P2 so badly right now. He's got the DRS, looking down into Tarzan. He's not going to have the battery, but he's going to get the tow. And he's going to get one more shot at it next lap. So 4/10ths back as we go into the final lap. Alex Duarte, 6/10ths
And
back.
Buzzcut finally released
Yeah.
from the tow, and let's see what Alex Duarte can do.
Yeah, so Combined YouTuber does come into the pits, and Alex Duarte will have a chance as well, but we have to stay on board with Dougie Falcons here.
Yeah.
Gap now down to 3/10ths. The
Gonna get right on them.
yeah, just I don't know the battery. I don't know if you can make an overtake happen here without the battery. And he's not gonna have the battery. He'll probably blow a lot of it here.
He might just hold it for right now.
Okay, so he's gonna be patient with the battery right there. Into a hard braking zone. That'll give him some
There's a
back.
10% difference between them and battery. Oh no! Oh man.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and assume that Dougie Falcons has a 5-second penalty. That is
Now
not...
Sid is right on the back of Damien.
Oh, no. So, yeah, so Sid on the back of Damien. Hopefully Damien doesn't have any damage from that. So now our closest battle on track is going to be between Sid and Damien, and then we got Alex Duarte, too, as he goes. He did get the DRS, but...
Yeah, but Buzzcut was just able to harvest battery behind Combined YouTuber, and he just has his defense ready.
Well, you know, I hate to see races end like that, but Sid on the move to get the to make it work against Damien. He's got the tire advantage. Still, last lap, Damien could have a puncture at any point. Red Potato could have a puncture at any point. We'll keep an eye on it.
They're right on the edge of it.
Oh, yes. DRS zone. This is Sid's realistic last chance to make it happen. Gets a little bit of a poor exit, but he's got to blow his battery if he wants it.
And he might have a good exit coming out of the last corner. And
yeah, that's going to be his last chance. You got to blow what you got, Sid.
And Red Potato crossing the line, full battery, just dominant.
Absolute dominant performance from Red Potatoes. Red Potato goes on to win the race.
And Sid, great exit.
He gets the exit he needs. Side by side across the finish.
Oh!
And he gets it at the line by 1/100th of a second. We had a terrible camera angle on that, but wow, unreal finish. Sid comes in for a podium, P3. So we have a Mercedes 1-3 across the line. Big Mama Frank crosses the line in P9. Sanduga coming in P10. Nathan Doan not too far behind in P11. Barney Goatmere coming behind on the soft tires, swerving back and forth. Williams Garage is happy with the P12. Eric McNerney, 25 seconds back.
Oh, and Seb with a puncture with 12 lap.
12 lap old
Sauce.
sauce. He's got the puncture. Just 28 laps on those hard tires between Damien and Red Potato. Impressive runs from both of them to make it that far. I said, but you don't have to bring it back unless you really want to. You know, we respect you made it this far. Can't lose positions.
Hamilton.
Yeah. Can't lose positions. 2 drivers behind him. We're a lap down. Garrett and Combined YouTuber. Sid sat Garrett in the chat says Red Bull. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, just baby it. We can make it. Seb, we're all here for you, man. We're all here. We're gonna cheer you across the line.
Will he be the first ZRL person to finish a race on punctured tires?
With a Lewis Hamilton-esque effort, Seb crosses the line with a P14 finish, overperforming any Haas expectations. Congratulations on that, Seb. What a race. So
Very chaotic, very exciting.
it was a great race. Honestly, overall, fantastic race. The the excitement of it could have been better if we would have seen the punctures actually happen. I was waiting on them to happen, and they didn't want to happen. But regardless, some close racing at the end, a little bit of contact made, some stewarding decisions yet to be finalized. I'm not sure we'll see those until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But for the time being, we have Red Potato in P1 and Dougie Falcons in P2 and Sid Satgar in P3. Let's go ahead and let's check the waiting room here.
Is my driver of the day.
Yeah, no, driver of the day. You'd have to, man. Look, Sid starts P15. You got to give some honorable mentions. Alex Duarte is starting P17 to P6, but Sid from P15 to a podium position, being at the right place at the right time, staying consistent, and it just feels good, you know. I feel like the league is a better league when Sid is performing well. I feel like it's always been that way, and he's going to be in the podium booth or in the broadcast booth with us here shortly after they get out of the cool down room. Let's go ahead and reach out to those drivers real quick.
Yeah, also shout out to Big Mo and Frank and Mr. Sandunga being in the top 10 from starting P19 and 18.
Yeah, those are both good finishes. All right, so we have Sid, our P3 finisher. Sid Satgar, congratulations on your podium finish, man. How does it feel to be back on the podium after being on the struggle bus for quite some time now?
It feels great. My heart is beating so fast. I'm just glad that I decided to save my ERS just in case something like that happens, and exactly that happened. And I was just wise with my usage. I didn't try to overtake on the second ERS straight. I waited for the last stretch until the finish line.
Your patience was better than mine, because I can tell you my DRS, my battery would have been blown going to that second DRS straight, but you held the patience, and you knew that coming out of the last corner you had a chance. When you're following him for the previous lap, did you see something like maybe his exits were bad out of turn 14, or is it just kind of
No, I was just intuition basically. I knew that the last DRS, the main straight, is a better overtaking spot than the second DRS straight, and going side by side into the braking zone of the second DRS straight, it's not really usually a good idea. So I was just better off waiting behind, and I knew he would think that I'm pushing, so he would blow all his battery over there. So it was just mind games, I guess.
Well, it was a great patience, Sid. Joel, do you have anything you wanted to say to Sid?
I love you, Sid. Oh,
I love you.
I
too, Joel.
love watching you race. It's so exciting. Oh my, what a
That
race.
finish was just awesome.
I was
It's
rooting
been
for
a
you.
while since I've felt this good after a race.
It was definitely a performance you should be proud of, Sid, and it's a feel-good story. We've all watched you come this far. You've come a long way from where you were. For anyone who doesn't know, Sid has gone from racing with assists on. He decided, you know what, I'm going to run no assists this season, and he's doing fantastic. And he's learned so much. And it's impressive. Hell of a drive, Sid, and congratulations on your podium. I look forward to seeing more of what we just saw today as we go forward for the rest of the season.
You will definitely see more of this. See you guys.
Can't wait.
Thanks for broadcasting.
Yep, see ya.
Yes, Sid.
All right, so let's go ahead and pull our second place finisher out of the cool down room, Dougie Falcons. Congratulations on your P2 finish as it currently stands. I know there's probably going to be some stewarding decisions that come into play on this one, but how do you feel about your drive?
I had to fight for that one, I guess. I thought I was going to win it when the medium second safety car. It was unfortunate that obviously there was contact on the restart, and I dropped back and I had to go fight my way back up, and then that was like, so I don't know what happened up ahead, but it opened us up to get the podium. The contact in the last couple of laps was kind of unfortunate because I was going as slow as I possibly could, and then I guess it was just kind of netcode. It just we touched, and he's half spun, and I couldn't do anything. It was
Yeah.
kind of one of those pathetic spins where I was slowing down, and I was slowing down enough, but for some reason he's kind of lagged a little bit backwards, and it was just so it could have been. I don't know. I couldn't really do much on that one, and I can only apologize, but I couldn't do much. Yeah, it was an okay race. Qualifying could have been better. The race could have been better. That's all.
Yeah, you were on an absolute tear when you came out on those medium tires. Even with the incidents that happened, the fact that you were able to come within 3 seconds of the lead has to be a little bit gut wrenching. Knowing what if that didn't happen on our safety car, you think you would have won the race?
I didn't know what the pace was like, but I mean, at the time, I didn't know what the pace was going to be like. But I guess, yeah. Now looking at it back, yes, I should have probably would have won this race.
Yeah,
Being honest.
I think so too, because without the pressure of you being up there, they were able to more or less take it easy. And I think both of those drivers were struggling on puncture territory as well.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking the same because I was like, well, I was contemplating like when the first safety car came out and everyone waited for the hard tires. I wasn't sure if they could do 25 laps.
it was 28, so 28 laps on their
28,
hards.
yeah, and essentially, I was like, okay, well, we'll just stay out. There's no point in. Well, we couldn't do anything because we were on the hard tires, and just hope for another safety car. Luckily, there was another safety car, so. And I was surprised they didn't pit on the second safety car, I'll be honest, because, like, there was I don't think you could have gotten the mediums, but I don't think, the soft tire wasn't the last 14 laps. So, yeah, I think
No,
they were
yeah.
they were kind of stuck, weren't they? Because you can't
Yep.
choose another
Yeah.
medium.
We saw what happened with Seb at the end. He tried it. He actually tried what you were talking about. He tried to go to
Yeah,
the
I
soft
think he did.
tire,
12
And-
laps.
ended up with the
11,
puncture,
12.
so wasn't
Yeah.
able to make it. But regardless, Dougie, for today and for now, before the stewards have any look at it, you are on the podium. Congratulations, great drive. It was a pleasure to watch you tear through the field, and I look forward to seeing you back next week.
What's the next race next week?
Next week we are in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah. Well, so yeah, hopefully we'll do well there. So thank you.
Yep. All right, thank you. Let's go ahead
See
and
ya.
bring in Red Potato. Red Potato, the man on a mission, absolutely burning up the track out there. Congratulations on your win, Red Potato. I know you were kind of a bit of a last-minute fill for Mercedes. Just finding out, an hour or two before that you're maybe not even that you're going to be racing tonight. What kind of time or preparation did you have for this race, and what did you do to make sure that you were ready to go?
Well, it was actually less than 30 minutes before the race. I was doing an iRacing race that I had to quit and lose basically 80 rating
Oh, no.
rating there.
Terrible.
But anyway, my prep was just the Division E race that I did a couple of days ago, where I was quite quick. I was able to match Hudson Pool, so I was confident in my pace going in. So I just put in a few laps in time trial to warm up, and that was it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of drama on the Mercedes side. I'm not sure what was going on, but they definitely didn't originally have you slated into reserve tonight when they potentially could have. I know Lewis Piper, the Red Bull from the Red Bull Academy, was slated into reserve, and for one reason or another wasn't able to make it, and last second you were thrown in. I hope that whatever Mercedes didn't see in you from the previous week, they've corrected their judgments, and then they plan on using you as they go forward. Do you have anyone you'd like to shout out, or do you have anyone who's watching this race that tuned in that you'd like to say hey to?
Well, hey to anyone who's watching. I don't think any of my buddies are tuned in. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks to the Mercedes team to let me race.
Yeah, congratulations on your win, Red Potato.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Were you ever worried at all in that race, or did you know that you had it in the bag when you started?
I was worried after the second safety car
Yeah.
when the Red Bull behind was basically got a free pit stop on two mediums.
Yeah.
He just had two cars to clear, but then I don't know what happened after that. He fell back, and then the gap was large enough then for me to defend. So yeah, that was the only point where that and the safety car restarts that are always sketchy on hard tires when they're not, warm enough. So, but other than that, it seemed quite comfortable out there.
Yeah, man, it was an absolutely incredible drive from your qualifying lap. I don't know how you felt about it, but it just looking at the time seems like one for the ages. Incredible lap, 5/10 over any of your opponents. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for proving my prediction to be pretty close to being right.
yeah. So, again, congratulations, Red Potato, and I hope that next week we get to see some more of it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Joel, conclusions on the race, on the broadcast. How you feel?
I don't know. Just, wow.
Yeah, it's quite a race.
Just Mercedes back on top, maybe.
Yeah, you'd have to think that at least they're coming back into the competition. Red Bull and Alfa Romeo and Ferrari had kind of pulled away with it. Alfa Romeo is still going to be in a good spot because of Damien. Red Bull, maybe not so much with Eruption DNFing. But Dougie had a good finish. Ferrari salvaged some points, we'll call it. They're not terrible. But yeah, Mercedes, that 1-3 is very strong. I'll have to take a look at where they're at in the constructor standings, but potentially maybe they could, re-enter this fight and make it a 4-horse fight. They got a lot of work to do. Johannes has not provided a whole lot of points this week, but their reserves keep coming in strong. So
I know they're ahead of us, so
yeah.
we got some work to do on the Aston Martin side.
Yep. So there you go. Anyway, thank you to everyone still tuned in after the interviews. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. And we will be back again tomorrow for the Division 1 race at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we hope to see you guys